There's a showdown in China, and trust me, it's not your typical face-off. You see, well-off folks in China are going all out for something unexpected: Rolex watches. So today we're peeling back the layers to figure out why these luxury timepieces are causing a frenzy and how this whole saga is shaping up in 2024. Stick around till the end because you won't believe the twist behind this Rolex showdown. Now, with a possible economic dip on the horizon, the wealthy in China are doing some spring cleaning, ditching their Rolex watches and Hermes bags at crazy low prices. But even though some are downsizing, the love for luxury is still burning strong in the hearts of the Chinese. So, what's happening? People are swooping in to grab these high-end goodies, like used Rolexes for a steal. It's a whole cycle: buy today, sell tomorrow. So while the rest of the world is figuring out post-pandemic life, China's going through some bumps in the road. Rich folks over there are playing a quick cash game, selling off their used Rolex watches like there's no tomorrow. And you know what happens when a bunch of luxury watches hits the market? Prices take a nosedive. Now blame it on Shanghai. They threw down strict rules on March 20th, 2024, trying to squash a COVID outbreak. Ever since then, the value of your favorite fancy watches and bags on the second-hand scene dropped like a rock. We're talking 20 to 50% less. Ouch, right? I mean, small businesses are feeling the squeeze, especially those who went all out on the fancy stuff when the good times were rolling. Now, with the lockdowns in play, they're feeling the pinch in their pockets. Since August, tourists in Hainan are practically stuck on the island thanks to all the COVID control measures. But get this, President Xi Jinping is pushing Hainan as the ultimate duty-free shopping paradise. So now, Chinese shoppers can score top-notch goodies right there in Hainan. Think Paris, Rome, and London level of fancy. Now that's hotspot. But what's shocking is since March, the price of used Rolex Submariners took a nosedive. We're talking a whopping 46% off. That's practically a luxury steal. But before we continue, make sure you don't miss out on the latest twists and turns in the luxury market, so hit that subscribe button for exclusive updates. Ready? Let's dive back into the story. Now here's the scoop from Watchco, where people do the fancy watch hustle. This Rolex model is like catnip for enthusiasts and collectors, a real gem. And it's not just watches, even the classic Hermes Birkin bag is on a discount spree, dropping prices by as much as 20% in luxury bag shops in Shanghai and Hong Kong. On the flip side, pawn shops and their buddies selling high-end goods are thriving. Why? Well, turns out business owners in need of quick cash are parting ways with their luxury stash. Whether they're settling scores with bills or playing Monopoly with real-life properties, these pawn shops are like secret stashes of high-end treasures waiting to be discovered. Let me expose something about James Wang, the man, the myth, the luxury watch dealer extraordinaire in Nanjing. At the beginning of the year, James was on a laid-back tune, snagging 0 Patek Philippe watches and a modest 5 Rolex Submariners from folks in need of some quick cash. Fast forward to July and things got wild. James went on a wild spending spree, snagging 6 Patek Philippe's and an astonishing 29 Rolex Submariners from people who stumbled into a temporary life detour. Now, according to James, those Patek Philippe's are supposed to be family heirlooms, but when times get tough, people start letting them go. Before Shanghai went into lockdown mode, the value of used Rolex Submariners skyrocketed. We're talking a crazy 240% jump in just 6 months. But now, the dealerships in Shanghai and Hong Kong are singing a different tune. They jacked up their prices earlier in the year, but with the market doing the dance, they're dropping those prices like it's hot. Not only that, but there's also a watch-savvy investor/electric heater tycoon in Wuhu, eastern China, and he's dropping truth bombs. According to him, all those recent price hikes in the fancy goods market are like a guessing game, not grounded in solid reasons. And let's be real, that kind of shaky foundation can't hold up for long. Now, this market shakeup is sending shockwaves through China's whopping $74 billion luxury industry. However, China's been lagging behind the likes of the US and Japan in the second-hand luxury game, but not for long, my friend. Jay Taniki, the mastermind behind a Shanghai-based second-hand luxury goods marketplace, is seizing the slowdown caused by the virus chaos. He's out there on a quest for fresh spots to open up his business because everyone's now leaping onto the fancy-selling craze. Hermes Birkin bags and Rolex watches are flooding the market as people hustle to turn their bling into cha-ching. Apparently, Jay, the former venture capitalist turned luxury goods trend spotter, is onto something big. People are catching on that selling their fancy stash is a solid way to pocket some much-needed cash. Jay breaks it down, saying to make ends meet, which is just a fancy way of saying covering the basics. So now more and more folks are realizing they can turn those pricey possessions into cold, hard money. Thanks to Jay's platform, the number of sellers spiked by a whopping 40% compared to last year. The site's now buzzing with 12 million users, ready to trade around 5 million swanky items this year alone. This shift is a neon sign flashing in China's luxury goods industry, signaling a major move towards the second-hand scene. It used to be the underdog, but now it's taking the spotlight, and guess who's taking notes? The big shots in the luxury goods game. They've been throwing all their chips into the Chinese market, but now, with sales slowing down, they're rethinking their game plan. The growing interest in second-hand luxury goods has them scratching their heads, figuring out how they can hop on the resale train and carve out their role in the game. Because of this, the good news train is rolling in. A market research crew threw out a prediction last year that China's second-hand luxury goods scene could hit a whopping $30 billion by 2025. Yeah, you heard that right. From an estimated $8 billion in 2020 to this mind-blowing jump. No crystal ball for 2024 just yet, but one thing's crystal clear. This market is skyrocketing, and everyone's starting to take notice. Take Zur, for instance. They started as a digital marketplace back in 2016, and now they're spreading their wings, opening up actual stores in cool spots like Shanghai and Chengdu. And guess what? They're hunting for more retail digs in Beijing, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen. Talk about going big. But Zur's not the only player in the game. Fupinu and Plum are holding their own, stepping up their game with better authentication, reaching more shoppers, and even dipping their toes into the real-world shopping scene. These guys raked in millions in venture capital funding in 2020 and 2021. It seems like these homegrown champs are set to rule China's luxury resale kingdom for a long while. All right, so here's the lowdown. Big players like Vestiaire Collective and The Real Real are steering clear of mainland China for now. No plans to dive into the Chinese scene anytime soon, they say. Now, why would that matter? Well, it might just be the perfect storm brewing in the world of luxury goods, especially in places like China, where everyone's on the hunt for top-tier stuff like Rolex watches. So why the potential clashes among Chinese shoppers over these Rolex gems? It's like a cocktail of factors, changing trends, limited supplies, and shoppers evolving like chameleons. Just consider economic shifts or a sudden change in how folks see certain Rolex models. That could spark showdowns between shoppers, fighting over returning or swapping watches they suddenly find not so hot. In a cutthroat market with die-hard collectors and not enough bling to go around, disputes might pop up. Think battles over the hottest models, disagreements, and maybe a bit of drama, especially if returns or swaps hit a snag due to strict policies or a shortage of the crowd's faves. But let's keep it real. Predicting specific incidents like these is like trying to read minds in a room full of mystery novels. Now we're itching to know. What's your take on the unexpected surge of Rolex sales and the luxury market in China? Have you ever scored a high-end item at an unbelievable price? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing your insights. If you found this journey through China's luxury saga as riveting as we did, show some love by giving this video a thumbs up. Share it with your fellow watch enthusiasts, ring that notification bell to stay in the loop. And for more captivating content, check out our other videos, each one a unique exploration into fascinating realms. Thank you for being a part of the Opulent Oasis community, where the stories are as opulent as the watches we discussed. Until our next adventure together, keep it chic, stay curious, and brace yourself for more mind-bending tales.